Sometimes the deepest regret comes from hurting the one who was trying to protect you all along. Daniel rescued a starving dog from the side of a lonely road and gave him a second chance at life. But when his chickens started disappearing, he became convinced the dog was responsible. What he discovered days later would leave him in tears and change him forever. Daniel Carter was a 42-year-old farmer who lived on a small ranch outside a quiet town in Montana. His life was simple. He spent his days caring for his chickens, ducks, and the small piece of land that had belonged to his family for generations. One cold autumn afternoon, while driving home on a country road, Daniel noticed a dog lying near a ditch. The animal looked exhausted. Its ribs showed through its thin coat, and it barely had the strength to lift its head. Daniel pulled over. The dog looked at him with tired eyes, as if silently begging for help. Unable to leave it behind, Daniel brought the dog home. He named him Buddy. Over the following weeks, Buddy slowly recovered. He gained weight, his coat became healthier, and a spark returned to his eyes. Before long, the dog followed Daniel everywhere around the ranch. For the first time in years, Daniel felt like he had a true companion. Then something started to go wrong. A few chickens disappeared. A few days later, another one was found dead near the coop. Then another. And another. The losses kept growing. Daniel couldn't understand what was happening. At first, he blamed wild animals. But then he noticed something. Every night, Buddy stayed near the chicken coop. The dog would bark into the darkness and refuse to leave the area. Slowly, doubt began to grow in Daniel's mind. One night, he was awakened by loud barking. Buddy was making more noise than ever before. Daniel grabbed a flashlight and rushed outside. When he reached the coop, everything was quiet. A dead chicken lay on the ground. And Buddy was standing nearby. Something inside Daniel snapped. Without thinking, he stormed toward the dog and kicked him. Buddy cried out and stumbled backward. But he didn't growl. He didn't run away. He simply lowered his head. The next morning, Daniel loaded Buddy into his truck. He drove several miles away from town and left him beside an old dirt road. As Daniel drove away, he glanced in the mirror. Buddy was still sitting there, watching him leave. The image stayed in Daniel's mind all day. But he convinced himself he had done the right thing. He was wrong. After Buddy disappeared, the attacks became worse. More chickens vanished. More birds were killed. The losses came almost every night. Confused and frustrated, Daniel decided to stay awake and watch the coop himself. Just before dawn, he finally got his answer. A large bobcat slipped through a gap in the fence. Within seconds, it attacked one of the chickens. Daniel froze. His heart sank. The truth hit him like a hammer. Buddy hadn't been harming the animals. He had been protecting them. The barking. The late nights. The constant guarding of the coop. Everything suddenly made sense. The dog he had rescued had been risking himself to defend the ranch. And Daniel had repaid that loyalty with cruelty. He dropped to his knees. Tears filled his eyes. For the first time in many years, he cried. The next morning, he returned to the place where he had abandoned Buddy. The dog was gone. Daniel searched for hours. Then days. He checked nearby roads, farms, and shelters. But there was no sign of him. With every passing day, the guilt grew heavier. Then one afternoon, near an abandoned barn outside town, Daniel spotted a familiar shape beneath a tree. His heart stopped. It was Buddy. The dog was thinner than before. His fur was dirty. There was a wound on his side. Daniel felt tears running down his face. Slowly, he stepped forward. "Buddy," he whispered. The dog lifted his head. For a moment, they stared at each other. Then Buddy struggled to his feet. Despite his weakness, he began running toward Daniel. There was no anger, no fear, no hesitation. His tail wagged wildly. When he reached Daniel, he pressed against him and began licking his face. As if nothing had happened. As if the man who abandoned him was still his favorite person in the world. Daniel wrapped his arms around the dog and broke down. "I'm sorry," he whispered over and over again. But Buddy only stayed close, forgiving him in a way few humans ever could. From that day on, Buddy never left Daniel's side. And Daniel never again forgot what true loyalty looked like. Never let anger or suspicion make decisions for you. Sometimes the ones we blame are the very ones quietly sacrificing the most for our sake. True loyalty, forgiveness, and love are gifts that should never be taken for granted. If you were Daniel, how would you live with the guilt of hurting someone who had only been trying to protect you?